Jessica Carter set her glass of iced lemonade down on the small wooden table beside the community pool and let out a deep sigh. A rare, peaceful afternoon after weeks of endless work. As a lieutenant with the local police department, she rarely had time to just sit back and relax. But today, she had made a conscious decision to enjoy a moment of quiet. She had lived in this neighborhood for over 10 years. She knew every street, every shortcut, even the usual morning joggers. Today, she wasn't in uniform. Just a simple t-shirt, jeans, and a pair of comfortable flip-flops. Just an ordinary woman, blending into the suburban scenery. That was exactly what she wanted. The pool area was moderately busy. A group of kids splashed near the shallow end. An elderly couple read books under the shade of an umbrella, and a mother attempted to coax her toddler into wearing floaties. A pleasant, ordinary scene, until a sharp voice sounded behind her. "Excuse me, do you live here?" Jessica turned her head. A middle-aged man, tall with graying hair, stood with his arms crossed. His expression wasn't one of curiosity. It was one of suspicion. "I do," she responded calmly. The man's brow furrowed. "Really? I've never seen you here before. You know, this pool is for residents only." Jessica studied him. She'd encountered men like him countless times in her career. Men who assumed authority where they had none. A folded HON newsletter peeked from his pocket. New to the neighborhood, she guessed. She nodded slowly. "I live in the house on Maple Drive. Been here for over a decade." The man chuckled, but there was no humor in it. "Is that so? Funny, I've never seen you around." Jessica didn't reply. Instead, she held his gaze in a way that made people uncomfortable when they realized they had overstepped. He straightened, as if trying to regain some sense of control. "We've had issues with trespassers before, so I'm just making sure." "What's your name?" Jessica interrupted, her voice still even. The man hesitated. "Robert. Robert Sinclair. I moved in last month." "Welcome to the neighborhood, Robert." He blinked, surprised by her response. But he wasn't done. "Do you have a resident pass on you?" Jessica folded her arms. "It's in my bag. Would you mind showing it to me?" "I would, actually." Robert took a step back, clearly unsettled. "Why not?" "Because I don't have to prove anything to you." For the first time, Robert looked uncertain. Nearby, a few people had begun to notice the conversation. An elderly man sitting near the pool called out, "Jessica, is everything all right?" She turned slightly. "No problem, Mr. Harris. Just a misunderstanding." At the sound of her name, Robert's expression shifted. He glanced around. The other residents, people who had lived here long before him, were watching. He was losing control of the narrative. "I was just trying to enforce the rules," Robert muttered, his confidence waning. Jessica tilted her head. "Do you know who I am?" He hesitated. "What do you mean?" Without a word, she reached into her bag and pulled out a small leather case. Flipping it open, the golden badge inside caught the sunlight, glinting for all to see. "I'm Lieutenant Jessica Carter with the Oak Ridge Police Department," she stated evenly. "And I've lived here long before you even considered moving in." Robert's mouth opened, then shut. The silence was deafening. Mr. Harris chuckled from his lounge chair. "Robert, son, next time you might want to learn a bit more about your neighbors before you start questioning them." A young woman sitting by the poolside picked up her phone, possibly recording. A mother leading her child away cast Robert a pointed look. Robert took a step back. I didn't mean any harm." "But you did," Jessica countered, slipping her badge back into her bag. "You weren't looking for the truth. You were looking for control." He had no response. He simply turned and walked away, the weight of embarrassment settling over him like a heavy coat. Mr. Harris sighed. "Jess, do you want me to call someone at the HOA?" She shook her head. "No need, Mr. Harris. I think the message will spread on its own." And it did. That evening, when Jessica checked her phone, she found a message from a longtime neighbor. "Heard you had quite the showdown at the pool today." She smirked, typing back, Not a showdown, just a lesson. The next morning, as she passed the neighborhood bulletin board, a new sign had been posted. Know your neighbors. Underneath the bold letters was a recent photograph from a community event. Jessica standing next to the mayor, shaking hands. Someone had handwritten beneath it, "To the guy who told her to leave. Maybe read the board next time." Jessica smiled. Not because of mockery, but because of truth. A small reminder that in a community, assumptions could be dangerous, and real belonging had nothing to do with who demanded proof, but who truly understood the people around them.